So, I've wanted to write about my dogs for a long time. 8 years ago, I lost the love of my life, Moya. He was a redhead poodle boy, and he died when I was really injured, and I was not able to give him the kind of care that I really should have given him because I was in forecasts. I was severely injured, and losing him in the midst of that was the hardest thing of all. So after getting PearlMae and getting to know her and seeing her funny personality and seeing her relationship with Matilda, who's the complete opposite. Matilda is timid, she's careful, she's mommy's little helper, she's such a good girl, she listens, she is insecure, she likes to hide, and she's a bit of a pessimist. Whereas PearlMae is the believer, she's the fighter, she is confident, she is sure of herself, she is funny, she doesn't give up, she doesn't see obstacles, she sees opportunities and solutions. And when she has decided something, there's no way to snap her out of it. And I take care of a lot of dogs. I train dogs, I take care of them, and there's so many funny personalities. It's just so amazing how every dog has its own personality. And so I started to see the story of all these different personalities in a shelter, and PearlMae as the main character, because she is the one who is the believer, who is the optimist, who has a dream, and she dreams of this girl on a different planet called Planet Love, in a different dimension. And she just knows that one day that girl is going to come and find her and bring her back home to Planet Love. So it's based on the real story, right? But it's also a story where I was able to pour everything into my spiritual journey, my near-death experience, being in a wheelchair, because the girl on Planet Love is in a wheelchair and she has her story of how that happened. And it has a beautiful message. It has a message of following your dreams, never giving up on your dreams, and that what you feel in your heart is true and real, and to only listen to that, because there are a lot of voices that are going to come in and discourage you and make you doubt. And PearlMae and Planet Love has a very strong Christian message, spiritual message, if you will. Someone told me, which was the biggest compliment. She said, "I find it very healing. I find it hopeful. Like, I can go into this book whenever I feel sad, or when reality becomes too heavy and grief takes over and worry takes over, to have this book to go to where you can find some peace and a little bit of a rest, a sanctuary from the harshness and the coldness that you can find in the world." And so I wanted to share my spiritual journey, which is very symbolic in this book. There are 2 pages that are directly taken from my journal that I wrote when I was really injured. I went through this near-death experience, this life-altering time in my life that made me question everything and made me lose my faith and then find it again. And it's been such a amazing journey, very painful and very traumatic, but never in vain. And so in order to, this is actually, as I'm talking, I'm actually realizing that this is the reason why I write, and it's always been the reason why I write. From the moment I learned how to write, I have written stories, and I have taken stories from my life or things that I've been observing to create something beautiful of it. I was often very alone as a child. No, I had friends, of course, but like inside, I think, a lot of kids with broken families who grew up in divorced homes and where there's a lot of trauma, escape, and that's what I did. And not only that, I wanted to find a reason for why things were happening, why they were fighting, why there was all this, chaos and trauma. And if I could take that incident and make it into a piece of art and make it into something with meaning, and in the end there's a reason for why it happened and there was a lesson in it, then I could stand it, and then I could survive it, because then I would see it as just a chapter in a book or a scene in a movie. And that's really why I started to write, because I wanted to create something beautiful out of the pain, out of the darkness. This is what I did again with this book, PearlMae Planet Love. I poured my heart and soul, my faith, and my pain, and my joy, and my just love for God and for life and for everything, all the parts, and my deep, deep love for dogs. I love dogs so much. I get them, I understand them. Ever since I was a child, dogs were my best friends. And so every dog in this book that has a speaking part is based on a real dog. So we have PearlMae, who is the main character, and then we have Matilda. She likes to be on her own. She has a lot of anxiety, but in the depth of her heart, she does long for a special friend, but she doesn't have the courage to say it. She's a little too proud. And also, she's a little scared to dream, because, like she says, dreams and expectations always lead to disappointments. And then we have Moye, my beloved. He makes a cameo. I'm not going to say what he represents, because I want you guys to feel it on your own and make up your own mind, because I don't like to describe too much of the meaning behind everything and the symbols of everything, and the mythology behind, because I really feel like it's up to every single person to make it their own story. Because I hate when I see a movie that I find very existential and I kind of relate to, and I feel like, oh my God, that's my journey, that's my story, that's how I feel. And then I hear an interview with the writer or the director or the actor, and they explain the movie in a different way, and then I just feel kind of cheated on, and I feel a little bit betrayed, and that's why I think it's better not to explain too much. And this is Nimbus. He's very silly, and he's also very naive, and he's very, very sensitive, and he's not the brightest bulb on the tree. How about that? But the name Nimbus is actually taken from my first beloved dog, which was actually my grandfather's dog. My grandfather was a hunter, and he always had like about 3-4 dogs at home, and Nimbus was a basset hound. Oh my God, I loved him so much. I would just carry him up in bed, and he was stinky and smelly, and I just loved to smell the wet fur, and I didn't mind. I created the images as well as the cover, and I did everything from scratch. I wrote it, I created it, I put the text in there. This is just the beginning, and with your help, I can continue writing. Next project is my memoir, which I've been working on for many years, and there's going to be a lot of juicy things in there. Matilda. So this is Matilda. Yeah. She's really scared of the wind, It's really windy today in LA, and there are fires everywhere. So she's having a bit of a hard time. Oh, you want to go get a treat now? Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow and subscribe, and please share this video with anyone who needs a little extra love in their lives. Thank you. Bye. Hej då.